Good morning, good morning, morning. Welcome, everybody. Those who come. If you could let me know in the chat how I sound, if my voice is coming through okay, if it's too loud or is it too quiet or is it just right. Let me know what you think. Thanks for coming, Fred. Don't be shy if you're watching. Come and have a chat with us in the chat. Say hello. All fine. Excellent. Okie dokie. That's great. Okay, well, welcome everybody to Chandrayaan-3. This, if you remember back to 2000 and let me think the date. When was it? 2018, I think. Let me just look up. Back in 2019, August of 2019. You might remember Chandrayaan-2, which was the Indians' answer to landing a lander and a rover on the moon. Sadly, it didn't complete its mission. It hard landed essentially and was too heavily damaged or destroyed, and therefore consequently obviously didn't complete its mission. So this is another attempt. This is Chandrayaan-3. So a few little bits of information. So the lunar lander is going to launch via a rocket, and this is the LVM-3, which is probably what you can see on the screen, which literally means Launch Vehicle Mark 3. I've actually got a graphic. Let's just bring that up. It might be a bit easier. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Oh my goodness. I've gone through all that and there's no audio. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Is that better? Fred, can you hear me now as well? All good? Damn it. I don't know what happened there for some reason. So it's all good now. All good now. Oh, apologies for that. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. It was fine a little while ago, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, I must have clicked something, and it muted the audio. Good. Okay. Well, I shall start again. I do apologise for that. I'm so sorry. Very unprofessional. Okay. So let me just change things. Go back to where we were before. Okay. All right, again, so I'm Matt, I'm your host, so welcome to N2M. Let's start all over again. So this is ISRO's, or the Indian Space Agency's, Chandrayaan-3 launch, and it's their second attempt at a soft lunar landing of a lander and rover. If you remember back to August of 2019 with Chandrayaan-2, sadly, the lander failed to land softly, and it was destroyed or heavily damaged on impact. So, consequently, it failed to complete its mission. So, ISRO are back with Chandrayaan-3. Brought the rocket graphic up. It disappeared, did it? All right, hold on. Okay, we'll seem to be okay at the moment. Yeah, I think it's the way I've got it set up wasn't quite working properly, but we're okay now. We're good now. So that's my fault. I do apologise, but we seem to be okay now. That's good. Okay, so the lander is going to be launched via this rocket, which is the LVM-3, which literally means Launch Vehicle Mark 3. Nice and simple to understand with that one. I'm having to keep checking back just to make absolutely sure the audio is still coming through. So LVM-3 is a 3-stage rocket, and as you can see from the graphic, it consists of 2 solid rocket boosters and a liquid-fueled second stage and a third cryogenic stage. Now, in terms of its capability, it's probably comparable to something like an Atlas V or a Falcon 9. In other words, it's like a medium to heavy lift vehicle. Well, more sort of towards medium end. It's quite a short and stumpy rocket, but no less capable. At 43 meters tall and 4 meters in diameter of its core. And when you compare that to something like a Falcon 9, which is around 70 meters tall and 3.5 meters in diameter, it kind of gives you like a short, stumpy rocket. But as I said, it's still a very capable rocket. It's had 3 successful previous launches, so it's a good rocket. Now, spacecraft comes in 2 parts, the propulsion module and the lunar lander module. I'll bring that graphic back up again and to give you a better idea. And inside the lander is a little rover, as you can see from the graphic, which will exit the lander via ramp and then carry out various scientific tests and experiments, providing, obviously, we get a landing. Now, the lander has got a 48-day journey to the moon, and it consists of ever-increasing elliptical orbits of the Earth with various burns to increase that elliptical orbit, and a final insertion burn, or lunar insertion burn. And then it will end up with an ever-decreasing elliptical orbits of the moon, which will then culminate in a landing which is due on August 23rd. So I'm hoping to cover that landing, and hopefully we'll have a successful landing this time. So that's what we have. So I hope you heard all that. Let me know in the chat if it's all still sounding okay. I'm really paranoid now. Does it all sound okay? You heard all that presentation? I hope you did. Let me know if you can. Can you all still hear me? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, every time I think it's because the audio is not connected with the graphics for some strange reason. I don't know why. It usually does it automatically, but it doesn't. So that's good. Anyway, so that's enough of me wittering on. I'm going to hand over to ISRO now for this live launch, and the launch window opens in approximately 20 minutes time, so 5 minutes past the next hour mark. And hopefully we'll get a launch as the window opens. So Without further ado, I shall hand over.
Rocket standing majestically against a picturesque background in the second launch pad. LVM-3 rocket will fly for the 7th launch today. 43.5 meters tall and 642 tons heavy launch vehicle has been operationalized after an experimental and 2 developmental missions. Mission executives on your screen. That's the spacecraft director
Control to note event number 430
and associate spacecraft director. LVM-3 is India's largest and heaviest launch vehicle, ferrying Indian and international customer satellites.
Vehicle Director to Mission Director. LVM-3 M4 launch vehicle is ready for the Chandrayaan-3 mission. Mission Director Roger.
मिशन डायरेक्टर टू
अब हम उड़ान से 19 मिनट 12 सेकंड की दूरी पर
हेल्थ इज नॉर्मल एंड क्लियर्ड फॉर लॉन्च
Mission Director Roger.
ROD to Mission Director. Range is ready for LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 launch.
Minus 19 minutes.
Mission Director Roger.
TTC Director to Mission Director. All track stations and network is ready to support LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 mission.
रेंज ऑपरेशन डायरेक्टर, टेलीमेट्री ट्रैकिंग एंड कमांड डायरेक्टर, सैटेलाइट डायरेक्टर और व्हीकल डायरेक्टर अपने तंत्रों की जानकारी मिशन डायरेक्टर को देते हैं.
All necessary clearances are obtained for the launch of LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 mission. Mission Readiness Review Committee and Launch Authorization Board have already given authorization for the launch of LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 mission. Based on the readiness of vehicle systems, range, spacecraft, and TTC, confirmed by respective mission executives, and the prevailing favorable weather conditions, Mission Director hereby authorizes for the launch operation sequence of launch of LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 mission at 14 hours 35 minutes 17 seconds Indian Standard Time today, the 14th July 2023, from second launch pad of SDSC Shar.
Control Roger. All stations to know. Mission Director has given authorization for launch.
जी हाँ, अभी आपने घोषणा सुनी. मिशन डायरेक्टर ने इस लॉन्च के लिए ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करने का अनुमोदन दे दिया है. इसके पश्चात व्हीकल डायरेक्टर एलएस ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करेंगे.
On your screens, you have just watched Mission Director Shri Mohan Kumar giving clearance for the initiation of automatic launch sequence. This is based on the confirmation of readiness of all participating team for range, launch vehicles, spacecraft, and tracking. The automatic launch sequence is scheduled to begin at T-minus 14 minutes 30 seconds, as a part of which the most critical control system elements are checked for the launch vehicle.
Minus 17 minutes.
Very close to the launch time, control will be passed on to the onboard computers.
VLCC to LCC to note.
व्यूअर्स गैलरी दर्शकों से खचाखच भरी हुई.
VLCC Roger.
बहुत भारी संख्या में यहाँ लोग उपस्थित हुए हैं. आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र में.
Enthusiastic viewers from all across the country gathering at Satish Dhawan Space Center Launch View Gallery for witnessing this historic moment of Chandrayaan-3 launch.
Copied.
The countdown for LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3 mission has lasted for 25.5 hours. It was commenced on 1:30 p.m. yesterday.
While of operation of hydrogen tank.
During countdown, the launch vehicle stages are serviced with propellants. Gas bottles meant for stage operations are charged. While the Earth storable propellant filling was concluded more than 16 hours ago, the cryogenic propellants
servers activated. MC confirms data from Sharvan.
अभी अभी कंफर्म किया गया है. व्हीकल डायरेक्टर श्री बीजूसी थॉमस ने ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू कर दिया है. अब यह लॉन्च व्हीकल LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस के अंतर्गत है। इसका मतलब ऑन बोर्ड कंप्यूटर पूरी तरह स्वचालित हो चुका है।
We are very close to the launch, and the day of launch wind biasing data is fed during the countdown to the onboard computers to enable most suitable steering of the launch vehicle through atmosphere. Up next, we will watch a curtain raiser video on this mission.
Number 465, request CGSS to confirm supply of GN2 to cryo.
Moon, this familiar object in the night sky, has inspired the imagination of astronomers and ordinary people alike. From time immemorial, humans have marveled at the beauty of the moon, used it to count time and navigate the high seas. In modern times, Moon, the only natural satellite of the Earth, has acquired added importance due to the belief that Moon is the key to our understanding of the evolution of the solar system in general and Earth in particular. Besides, Moon's precious resources and low gravity have further endeared it to humans. India, a major spacefaring nation, has conducted a detailed exploration of the Moon through its Chandrayaan program. The country has sent 2 robotic spacecraft to orbit the Moon and to take a repeated look at its surface. Chandrayaan-3 demonstrated India's ability to reach the surface of the Moon at a place and time of its choice. And India became the 4th country to reach the surface of the Moon in November 2008. Besides, Chandrayaan-1's conclusive discovery of water on the Moon in 2009 was praised as a path-breaking discovery. The follow-on mission, Chandrayaan-2, had an orbiter, a lander called Vikram, and a rover named Pragyan. In the past 4 years, the orbiter has repeatedly observed the lunar surface and even today is working satisfactorily. Now, 3,900 kilograms Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is being sent to the Moon with the objective of making yet another focused attempt to slowly land on the lunar surface and to explore it with the help of a rover. Following the spacecraft launched by India's most capable rocket LVM-3, the Chandrayaan-3 lander carrying a rover within it will be carried into an orbit around the Moon by the propulsion module. A little later, the lander will separate from that module and will attempt to make a soft landing in the south polar region of the Moon. This region is of intense interest as it has many permanently shadowed craters which could contain water ice and precious minerals. Chandrayaan-3 lander has 4 scientific instruments or payloads, of which one will study the Moon-quakes, while the other one studies as to how the surface of the Moon allows heat to flow through it. The third one will study the plasma environment near the Moon's surface. And the 4th instrument will enable scientists to measure the distance between the Earth and Moon very accurately. The 2 instruments on the rover help us study the composition of the Moon's surface using X-rays and laser respectively. While the lander and rover will be in direct contact with each other. The propulsion module circling the Moon will observe the light coming from Earth, the only planet which we know which is definitely teeming with life. This observation will help in understanding the nature of distant planets circling stars other than the Sun. as Chandrayaan-3 undergoes important tests and gears up for launch. Thousands of ISRO scientists, including those who will launch it, control it and receive the precious scientific information from it using giant dish antennas, are readying themselves for the challenging tasks ahead. In the past, their dedication and skill have enabled India to earn praise from across the world and made it proud. Let us wish them well in this great endeavor called Chandrayaan-3.
आपके सामने हैं इसरो के अध्यक्ष श्री एस सोमनाथ। अभी अभी आपने देखा एक संक्षिप्त वीडियो जिसमें एनिमेशन की मदद से इस पूरे मिशन की यात्रा को बताया गया है, इस मिशन के ऑब्जेक्टिव को समझाया गया।
Chandrayaan-3 has two predecessors with destination Moon as their mission objective. Chandrayaan-1, launched by PSLV C-11 in October 2008, included lunar orbiter and impactor. During the mission life of around 10 months, Chandrayaan-1 had mapped the minerals on lunar surface, acquired 70,000 images to help create 3D atlas of Moon, and what's more, found water on Moon's polar regions. Chandrayaan-2, launched by LVM-3M1 on 22nd of July 2019, consisted of lunar orbiter, lander named Vikram, and rover named Pragyan. The orbiter is still providing insightful scientific information through its payloads like spectrometers, synthetic aperture radar, and cameras.
चंद्रयान 3 की चंद्रमा की सतह में उतरने के इस मिशन को कुल 10 चरणों में पूरा किया जाएगा। संक्षेप में यह इस प्रकार है। सर्वप्रथम चंद्रयान 3 को LVM-3 प्रमोचक रॉकेट द्वारा पृथ्वी की एलिप्टिकल टारगेट ऑर्बिट, जो कि 170 बाई 36,500 किलोमीटर की ऑर्बिट है, उसमें प्रमोचित किया जाएगा। वहां से चंद्रयान में मैन्यूवर कर पृथ्वी की गुरुत्वाकर्षण की सहायता से चंद्रयान की गति को वृद्धि की जाएगी। फिर चंद्रयान पृथ्वी की कक्षा से निकलकर चंद्रमा की कक्षा में जाएगा। चंद्रमा की कक्षा में जाते ही उसमें फिर से मैन्यूवर कर चंद्रमा की 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा। फिर सही समय आने पर लैंडर मॉड्यूल को प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। यह आप अपनी स्क्रीन पर देख पा रहे हैं, यह है प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल। प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल का मुख्य उद्देश्य है लैंडर तथा रोवर को पृथ्वी की कक्षा से चंद्रमा की कक्षा में, जो कि 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा होगी, उसमें उचित अभिवृत्ति में लैंडर मॉड्यूल को अपने से पृथक कर चंद्रमा की सतह पर भेजना है। ऐसा करने के लिए इसमें MMH और मॉन का प्रयोग कर 440 न्यूटन के थ्रस्टर्स वाले इंजन लगे हुए हैं। इसमें आवश्यक संचार सुविधाएं भी उपलब्ध हैं।
Speaking about the major milestones in the journey of Chandrayaan-3 to the Moon, the spacecraft consists of propulsion module, lander, and rover. Lander is planned to touch down at south pole of Moon. The major 10 phases of the mission are: the first phase, called the Earth-centric phase, comprises of pre-launch, launch, ascent, and earthbound maneuver. While the second phase is the lunar transfer phase. As the name suggests, the Chandrayaan spacecraft moves closer to the Moon. Next 8 phases are in the Moon orbit, the third being the lunar orbit insertion, followed by the moon-bound maneuvers phase, which mark the fourth phase. And next is, it is now that the propulsion module separates from the lunar module when 100 by 100 circular orbit of the Moon is achieved. The Chandrayaan-3 in its sixth phase carries out D-boost from 100 kilometers to 100 by 30 kilometers orbit, followed by the pre-landing phase as seventh phase. And then the most awaited
Flight
landing
coefficient
phase
loading started.
takes place.
Flight coefficient loading complete.
आपके सामने है मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष का दृश्य। सभी सेंटर डायरेक्टर्स अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं कि ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस किस तरह पूरा हो रहा है। दर्शक दीर्घा भी इस इंतजार पे। प्रमोशन से हम 5 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं।
-5 minutes.
Most of you might recall the Chandrayaan-2 mission
MC confirms radar
and the
data.
intense moments when all the enthusiastic Indians were waiting for the touchdown of the lander on the surface of Moon. The launch view gallery with the overwhelming crowd of visitors.
पूरे दर्शक दीर्घा यहाँ बहुत उत्साहित। मौसम में थोड़ी परेशानी हो सकती है, लेकिन सब अपनी सुविधाओं के साथ में यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं।
We are close to 4 minutes from the scheduled launch time.
-4 minutes.
Gaining from the heritage of Chandrayaan-2, the Chandrayaan-3 is upgraded in several aspects for the enhanced robustness
Pyro
through
and wall
extensive
battery
ground tests and simulation.
Onboard computer in flight mode.
ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस जारी है। इस दौरान सभी संचार तंत्रों की स्वास्थ्य जांच, बैटरी आवेशन पूर्ण किया जा चुका है। कुछ अंतिम गतिविधियां जैसे ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर रियल टाइम प्रोग्राम लोड करना, पायरो लाइन को आर्म मोड में लाना, गैस टैंक का अंतिम आवेशन, और यह सभी घटनाएं संतोषजनक तरीके से पूर्ण की जा रही हैं।
-3 minutes.
अब हम उड़ान से 3 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। प्रमोशन तथा इस प्रमोशन की घटनाक्रम को पहले ही बताया जा चुका है। सर्वप्रथम दोनों S200 स्ट्रप-ऑन बूस्टर प्रज्वलित किए जाएंगे T0 पर।
Pre-flight pressurization of the hydrogen tank commenced.
S200 के प्रज्वलन के 108 सेकंड के पश्चात L110 जो कि
-2 minutes.
तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू कर दिया जाएगा। L110 के प्रज्वलन के पश्चात करीब 137 सेकंड पर S200 बूस्टर्स को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
We are close to 1.5 minutes from the scheduled launch time.
सभी दर्शकों को ज्ञात है यह एक ऐतिहासिक मिशन होने वाला है। पूरे भारतवर्ष की आंखें इसमें हैं। इस यादगार पल के लिए यहाँ सब उपस्थित।
-1 minute.
अब हम उड़ान से 1 मिनट की दूरी पर
-45 seconds. -50 seconds.
All sequencers armed. Stage ready.
-45 seconds. minus 40 seconds,
L110 VHPP open. MOV
minus
79
33
open.
seconds, minus 30 seconds,
Real-time programs activated.
minus 25 seconds,
L110 VSPP open.
minus 20 seconds, minus 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
Here we have a majestic liftoff of LVM-3
tracking.
M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
P2 tracking.
प्रज्वलन और सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट का। यह भीमकाय रॉकेट आसमान को चीरते हुए अपनी भयानक दहाड़ से चारों ओर कंपन उत्पन्न कर रहा है। इसे हम यहाँ महसूस कर सकते हैं और यही दहाड़ है जो वैज्ञानिकों को रोमांचित करती है। LVM-3 के उत्थापन के साथ ही हमारे अंतरिक्ष यान चंद्रयान-3 की चंद्रमा की यात्रा प्रारंभ हो चुकी है।
As the rocket is soaring through the clear skies, every second moving closer to the accomplishment of the most important milestone in its mission to Moon. Every Indian witnessing the launch live is content with the feeling of watching history in the making.
चंद्रमा की सतह पर अपना छाप छोड़ने के लिए चंद्रयान-3 अपने मिशन को पूरा करने निकल चुका है। वर्तमान में दोनों S-200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर सामान निष्पादन करते हुए अपनी निर्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं।
The S-200 motors thrusting simultaneously, generating a peak thrust of close to 6,000 kilonewtons in vacuum. They are made of HTPB-based solid propellant, 204.5 tons in each strap-on, close to 2 tons of propellant being burnt each second.
S-200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर्स का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 126 सेकंड का है और अभी अभी घोषणा की गई L110 स्टेज का भी प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
Apart from the strap-ons, the core stage has also commenced its operation. This stage, based on combination
200 stages are separated.
of hypergolic earth storable liquid propellants UH-25 and N2O4. Now the S-200s have been separated.
घटनाक्रम के अनुसार इस यान से S-200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर्स को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है। यह काम सेपरेशन मोटर्स की मदद से किया जाता है। इसके बाद L110 तरल नोदक पर आधारित और विकास इंजन के साथ यह चरण सामान्य निष्पादन करता हुआ अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहा है। अभियान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है।
L110 stage performance normal.
The trajectory of launch vehicle is closely following the prediction.
Payload fairing separated.
जी हाँ, पेलोड फेयरिंग को पृथक कर दिया गया है यान से, क्योंकि यान अब 114.8 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है। इस चरण का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 200 सेकेंड होता है और इस दौरान यह करीब 1600 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है।
We are 220 seconds past the launch time. Current altitude is 135 kilometers. In the 200 seconds of its operation, the L110 stage carries the rocket up to 175.5 kilometers altitude and imparts a relative velocity of 4.18 kilometers per second, that is 250 kilometers every minute.
L110 stage performance normal.
LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट का द्वितीय चरण पूर्णतः सामान्य निष्पादन करते हुए इस चरण में कुल 113 टन के तरल नोदक भरे जाते हैं। N2O4 तथा UH-25 अर्थ स्टोरेबल प्रोपेलेंट को ईंधन के रूप में प्रयोग किया जाता है इस चरण में।
Stage ignition is authorized.
अगला चरण C25 का प्रज्वलन भावी है।
Plus 5 minutes.
One ton stage thrust cut off and separated to C25 ignition command. 25 ignition confirmed.
That's a piece of really good news that the third stage has started its operation. The C25 stage has been ignited.
जी हाँ, एक बहुत ही जटिल प्रक्रिया होती है क्रायो इंजन का इग्निशन और इसके प्रज्वलन के साथ ही तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से गूंज उठा है मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष। तृतीय चरण C25 वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। पूर्णतः सामान्य, सभी तंत्र पूर्णतः सामान्य हैं।
118 kilonewtons thrust in vacuum is what the stage develops with its 28.6 tons propellant combination of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Present altitude
Stage
is low.
performance normal.
तृतीय और यह अंतिम चरण है इस यान का C25। यह क्रायो ईंधन पर आधारित चरण है जिसमें लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन, लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का इस्तेमाल होता है। इसमें कुल 28 टन का क्रायो ईंधन पूरी सुरक्षा तथा सावधानी के साथ भरा जाता है। इस चरण में 186 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न होता है और यह करीब 640 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहेगा। इसमें दिशा नियंत्रण के लिए इंजन जिम्बल का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। क्रायो ईंधन का विशिष्ट आवेग 446 सेकंड के करीब होता है।
Currently, the rocket is at an altitude of 210 kilometers.
Plus 7 minutes.
While there is no much variation in altitude, this stage will add to the relative velocity immensely.
Cryo stage
आइए
performance
अब आपको
normal.
पेलोड के बारे में जानकारी देते हैं। लैंडर मॉड्यूल्स पे कई वैज्ञानिक प्रयोगों के लिए पेलोड्स लगाए गए हैं।
India's prestigious lunar landing spacecraft Chandrayaan-3 moving closer to its intended injection spot in the orbit. The propulsion module provides propulsion for earthbound maneuvers, translunar injection, and moonbound orbits. It also has a payload to study the spectral and polarimetric measurements of Earth and lunar orbit. The abbreviated name of the payload is SHAPE. Among the payloads of the lander module, the following are included. A landwehr probe called Rambha to measure the near-surface plasma density, that is the density of ions and electrons, and its changes with time. The second payload is Chandra's Surface Thermophysical Experiment or CHASTE to measure thermal properties of lunar surface near polar regions. To measure the seismicity around the landing site and delineating the structure of the lunar crust and mantle, payload ILSA is there. The rover, after its descent, will further the
Cryo
scientific
stage
study
performance
objectives
normal.
through its own payloads. For better understanding of chemical and mineralogical composition of lunar surface, LIBS or laser-induced breakdown spectroscope is included. Another payload is the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer.
जी हाँ, लैंडर मॉड्यूल में 3 पेलोड हैं, रोवर में 2 और प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल में 1 पेलोड भेजा गया है। चंद्रयान 3 के स्वदेशी लैंडर और रोवर में नितभारों का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। यह अंतर्ग्रही मिशन के लिए भी आवश्यक तकनीकों का प्रदर्शन करेंगे। लैंडर के पास यह क्षमता है कि वह चंद्रमा की उबड़-खाबड़ सतह में भी बड़ी सावधानी से उतर सकेगा और रोवर को बाहर लाने के लिए और संचार सुविधाएं प्रदान करने के लिए सक्षम होगा। चंद्रयान 3 के लैंडर और रोवर में कुल 6 नितभार हैं। रेडियो एस्ट्रोनॉमी ऑफ मून बाउंड हाइपर सेंसिटिव आयनोस्फीयर एंड एटमॉस्फेयर, जिसे शॉर्ट में रंभा कहा जाता है, यह चंद्रमा की सतह के पास प्लाज्मा के घनत्व तथा समय के साथ बदलाव का मापन करेगा। इसके बाद चंद्र सरफेस थर्मोफिजिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट चंद्रमा के ध्रुवीय सतह के आसपास की थर्मल प्रॉपर्टीज का मापन करेगा। इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर ल्यूनर सिस्मिक एक्टिविटी लैंडिंग साइट के आसपास के क्षेत्र में भूकंप जैसी गतिविधियों का पता लगाएगा। रोवर में चंद्रमा की सतह के तत्वात्मक विश्लेषण के लिए लेजर इंड्यूस्ड ब्रेकडाउन स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप और अल्फा पार्टिकल एक्सरे स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप इसका इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। एक बहुत ही दिलचस्प वैज्ञानिक निर्धार है शेप स्पेक्ट्रोपोलैरिमेट्री ऑफ हैबिटेबल प्लैनेट अर्थ, जो कि चंद्रमा से पृथ्वी से परावर्तित नियर इंफ्रारेड किरणों का विश्लेषण दूसरे जीवन सहायक ग्रहों को खोजने में मदद करेगा। वर्तमान में C-25 इंजन कार्यरत है और पूर्णतः सामान्य प्रदर्शन कर रहा है। अब हम प्रमोशन से 700 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। सापेक्ष गति 6.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड, ऊंचाई 191 किलोमीटर।
As we have told you about the Chandrayaan-3's upgrades in the aspects of enhanced robustness through extensive ground tests and simulation. During the last phase of landing, the module will have a vertical velocity of less than 1 meter per second and a horizontal velocity of less than 0.5 meters per second from a height of 3 meters. The lander legs are designed to be robust enough to thrive the impact. The cameras are tuned to take pictures ahead of the landing and enable intelligent decision making for choice of best location to land, avoiding craters and boulders on lunar surface. The successive pictures will also enable the craft to determine its horizontal and vertical velocity in real time. Laser Doppler velocity sensor is an upgrade in Chandrayaan-3 over its predecessor. It helps to determine instantaneous velocity of craft. Insights into the behavior of Chandrayaan-2 in the last few minutes of its descent has revealed to the scientists the necessity for upgrade in the guidance algorithm. Inputs from various sensors are used by the autonomous navigation guidance algorithm of Chandrayaan-3 to plan the flight path to the most suitable landing spot. The engines of Chandrayaan-3 are capable of more gradual throttling also.
वर्तमान में हम प्रमोशन से 817 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। करीब 950 सेकंड पर तृतीय चरण क्रायोजेनिक इंजन को शट ऑफ कर दिया जाएगा। और उचित अभिवृद्धि प्राप्त कर चंद्रयान 3 को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। चंद्रयान 3 को LVM-3M4 द्वारा एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट में लॉन्च करने के पश्चात 170 किलोमीटर की पेरिजी पर क्रमशः 5 बार मैन्यूवरिंग कमांड दिया जाएगा। 5वीं बार में यह पृथ्वी से चंद्रमा की ओर प्रस्थान करेगा, जिसे हम ल्यूनर ट्रांसफर ऑर्बिट के नाम से जानते हैं। फिर 5 अगस्त 2023 को यह चंद्रमा की कक्षा में प्रवेश करेगा और फिर क्रमशः 5 मैन्यूवरिंग के पश्चात प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल चंद्रमा की 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा में स्थापित हो जाएगा। यहाँ यह उचित समय और अमृति में लैंडर मॉड्यूल को पृथक करेगा और 23 अक्टूबर 2023 को चंद्रमा की सतह पर लैंडिंग की प्रक्रिया शुरू की जाएगी।
Plus 15 minutes.
We have come close to 900 seconds after the launch. Currently, the C-25 stage.
Oh yeah, I hope you all can hear me. Can you just let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice okay? Considering the audio issues I've had in the start, I just want to make sure I'm coming through. Let me know if you can hear me. Ground control to Major Tom. Sounds okay, Raz. Thanks very much. Okay, well, I think audible. Great. I think I'm going to leave it there. We're not going to see a whole lot. We're, everything is looking fine. The cryogenic stages, which is your final stage that you see there, is looking nominal. We're going to just hear a lot of talking and just more animation, so not a whole lot left to see. Its journey, as I said, is due to land on the 23rd of August. There you go. We've got separation of the spacecraft from the cryogenic stage, so all looking good so far. Well, looks like we've got some images there as well. Separation. Oh, very good. Look at that. With Chandrayaan-2, we never had that, had those kind of images. And there she goes, indeed. Yep. So there you go. I think that's a very good point to actually come to an end. It's all successful so far. So again, like I said, due to land on the 23rd of August. I'm hoping to cover that then. I'm literally coming back from holiday the day before that, so all being well, if it's not silly hours of the morning, I'll be covering that, so I hope you can join me then. And that's all from me. So without further ado, I'm just going to say thank you very, very much for joining me for this little launch. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all again next time. Take care.